a little bit about this new advanced functional training program with 3D analytics using a web-based platform. First off, distance programming and distance delivery has been something I've done for close to 30 years. Even back in the 90s, started my first company before the real age of the internet and all the sort of in the cloud stuff. We were still providing our service as a distance service, as a distance technology to guys like David Ledbetter, IMG. They would collect data on site. They would literally FedEx videotapes to us. We would process the data and FedEx back reports. And of course, it became electronic. So the concept of delivering 3D motion technology and functional performance training is not new to us, to me. I've been doing it a long time. However, 2020 was a very unique year, and it forced us to really push the boundaries of this distance learning programming, and also how we can utilize 3D, real 6DoF 3D analytics in a more consumer-friendly way. So starting in 2020, I started to develop or refine and evolve what I'd been doing for, like I said, close to 30 years into a much more honed and very specific distance learning, distance analysis product, and delivering that product direct to athletes as opposed to direct to either teachers, coaches, trainers, medical professionals, and having them deliver our product, which has always been a little bit more of a business-to-business type of product. So now we're direct to athlete. It has been working exceptionally well, and it's grown like wildfire since 2020. A little bit about what you get and what we do. So I work directly with the athletes in conjunction with coaches and in conjunction with trainers and medical professionals if necessary, but I'm working directly with the athlete, delivering both 3D analytics as well as functional, activity-specific functional programming. All right, so, and it dovetails in with what they're doing with their coaching, what they're doing with their training, and if they're in a rehab or prehab kind of schedule as well. We start with an analysis and then we retest every 4 to 6 weeks. It's the type of thing that the athlete themselves can do or the coaches can do for them. We have some hubs set up all around the country where they can go get tested or they can test themselves. It's a very, very simple process. I run the evaluation. We go over that online. Each week I develop a functional training program, activity-specific functional training program for them based on the data and then also based on what we're seeing in terms of progress week by week. That program is delivered at the beginning of the week, usually Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. The athlete will review it with their coach or their trainer or by themselves. We will then get on a Zoom call and we will review it together for 15 to 20 minutes. And I will have the athlete go through key exercises to make sure that they are performing the exercises correctly and they understand why they're performing the exercises. We make correctives or we make corrections as necessary. We then follow up later in the week after they've done a few workouts. They'll send video of the key elements, the key exercises or movements that we're working on and make sure that they are continuing to do them correctly, and then I can see how they've progressed from the beginning of the week through more the mid to end of the week. That allows me to in addition to the data and the plan that we've laid forth, I can make adjustments based on what I see week to week. So it's very personalized. In addition to that, obviously, they have access to me with questions, and they have access to all kinds of support in addition to just talking to me. So that's the way the package has been delivered. Again, this is not groundbreaking, and it's not anything really new. Again, we've been doing this. I've been doing this in some way, shape, or form for 30 years, doing this distance thing. However, it has gotten very refined and very specific. The results we're getting are literally off the charts. And I would have to say it's a combination of my skill sets getting better and better every year, again, over 3 decades. But also the format seems to be working extremely well. We don't seem to be going back to old, kind of what we did before COVID, before 2020. Most athletes now have some form of gym at their house or some sort of training options at their house. That includes, for golfers, hitting bays, sometimes simulators. So they have access to stuff at home. They can go to a facility. When we do it online, they're able to work around their schedules, do it when it makes sense to them, do it when they're traveling, do it when they're at their home base. It's very flexible, but it's also very connected. I'm very connected with each of the athletes I work with. Obviously, being that connected and putting that much personal time in, although the system is extremely refined and very automated now, so that I only put my energy into the athletes. I don't have to put my energy into a lot of the side work. It is still a very time-intensive, very interactive program, and so there's only so many athletes I can work with at any given time. And as a result, what I ask the athlete, it doesn't matter what level. I'm working from juniors all the way to adults, and there's a lot of pro, and college and high school, high school thrown in there throughout that whole spectrum. All I ask is that the athlete be committed to the program, committed to real change, committed to real performance enhancements or growth. Because I don't want to get started with somebody who's really not committed to doing this. Since I have limited time, I don't want to have to turn. I don't want to turn over athletes all the time. Obviously in some cases you have to. But so this program is very individualized, scientifically data-driven programming, and then interactively adjusted week to week. The athlete, although the athlete meetings are fairly short, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour at the most, they're very connected. We get a lot done in those short Zoom meetings that help the athlete progress throughout the week, but then the athlete has some ownership because they have to get it done. I'm not standing over top of them. I'm not telling them what to do. I'm not telling them what sets and reps to do. They're held accountable that they send me video and they send me updates as they're doing it, but it's on them and they have to have ownership. And I think the combination of that combined with the technology and the skill sets I've developed over 3 decades now is making this program an exceptional, off the charts, impactful program.